It helps, but people want to see Landon, and they can see Landon now. Here he is. Landon is over there. Justin is over here, and there's a party over there. Party over here. Wave your hands in the air, like you just don't care.
Wow, we're so white.
I mean, that's what my 23andMe told me. It basically came back and said those words, and it was like it laughed, and it was like, why did you do this?
So you did do the 23andMe?
I did. Yeah, my DNA is out there. So if anyone wants to frame me for a murder,
fantastic.
That can absolutely.
My theory is that all these DNA websites and services like that gonna make a clone army, kind of similar to Star Wars.
But why would they need all the different DNA? They could just use one, like they did for Star Wars.
Well, they're trying to find a perfect soldier because, I mean, like if they got your DNA, it's like, oh yeah, it's an army of Jays. I'm just going to come at him with like a box and just beat the Jesus out of them.
A beautiful voice that could influence others. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. No. Mm-mm.
A wonderful personality. Oh, one of the things it told me in my 23andMe is that I have muscle fiber similar to elite athletes.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, you didn't do anything with that.
Exactly. Totally wasted.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when you were growing up, you were always like, 9 feet tall. So you were really good at like, basketball up until like, say, 16. And then at that point, it's like, oh, crap, there are people taller than me. So
that's true. It did happen. I was certainly the tallest one in middle school. And then I just hit the ceiling. I don't know why.
You didn't develop them fundamentals because up until that point, all you had to do was hold your hands up, catch the ball, and put it up there.
This is literally my basketball story. When I played basketball in middle school, I didn't have to learn how to dribble. I didn't have to learn how to pass. Mm-mm. What I learned was go stand on the block, put your hands up, catch the ball, and hit the backboard because, I probably wasn't going to have a high percentage if I tried to just sink one without the backboard. So
you were like an East Tennessee George Murasant.
However, my final year playing in middle school, my coach, I think, started to see the writing on the wall that people were going to start catching up to me in height, and I was maybe done growing. And
and he said, Jay, come here. Have you really thought about like maybe choir? How about that?
Considered accounting. Which is funny now in today's context when people say they're accountants and they're really not. Guys, I really am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the dummy that went and got the degree when you didn't really need to be a dummy and get the degree.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is he actually, for some of our scrimmages, he would let me play point guard. And let me just tell you, that was an interesting experiment.
I was going to say, I would pay money to see you just out there like Big Bird trying to bounce a ball.
Never had to bounce a basketball before. Never had to learn. I was dribbling it literally off my feet. It was
Big Bird.
It was a struggle to get the ball down the court because I never had to do that. And then my pretty standard move was if I got it across the half court line, I would immediately pass it and then probably run to the paint because
yep.
I know. So
that's what you know. Mm.
Yeah.
And generally point guards don't go to the paint, but I mean, most point guards aren't big, lanky birds like you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Is this entertaining for everybody? We're talking some sports. Landon, we can talk about your football career next.
Hey, yeah, that lasted about 5 weeks. I started to fail out of science and I realized I didn't like getting hit. So I decided, I'm just not going back. Mm-hmm. Still to this day, my dad brings up the fact that I just left my football cleats in a locker. It's like literally not going back.
Hung them up.
Yeah, I literally and figuratively hung them up. It's like, this sucks. Also, it doesn't help. Like I know he's not listening, but our freshman coach was a giant a-hole. Like he literally lasted 1 season and then was run off by the school because he was that big of a doucher. So,
oh, that's funny. My football coach in high school wasn't the best. We were in a transition period because we had this a coach who had just retired like a couple years before I got to high school. One that had been like the coach for 30 years at our high school, and people loved him and all that sort of thing. And then when I got there, we got a new coach, and he was a jerk. And I did play football my freshman year, but part of the reason I didn't continue with him.
Oh yeah, well, and it's like on the flip side, it's like the coach of the varsity and junior varsity, like Bill Young, very good coach, very good dude, well respected. The freshman coach was just a roided up doucher once again. So he got ran off after one season, and by that point, like I even had some of my people, or I guess teammates on the freshman team, come and talk to me sophomore year. It's like, so you're going to come back? Now I'm good on choir. It's like I get to do what I like, and I don't get concussions. So, though I do have the body of a defensive and offensive lineman. So,
by the way, there are ladies in choir. Not so many ladies on the football.
Yep. Some hot ladies too. Ladies.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the things I think is really interesting is, and Landon, you played basketball too. You did in middle school, right?
Yeah, through middle school. And I was really good at defense. I was tenacious before it was the D.
Well, you were the D. Tenacious.
Yeah, once again, ladies.
I didn't mean that. But one of the things I find interesting, and this has really only happened to me maybe once or twice in my life, is the feeling of like being in the zone, where you almost like, they talk about players in professional sports in college, like they're almost like unconscious, like they can't miss a shot. They're just on fire. Or like, if you remember NBA Jam, if you're on fire, like you're
on fire. Is it the shoes?
It literally happened to me in one of the games of basketball. And it was a game that counted. It wasn't a scrimmage. But I don't know what happened that day. I wish I knew the routine, because I definitely would have repeated it. But I made 16 foul shots without missing one in that game.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I think I ended up scoring in the mid 40s. It was like 45, 46 points in that game. I blocked like 4 shots. I had like 5 steals. And the thing about it is, yeah, it was insane. The thing about it is, I just think about that game, and like I can remember the feeling of knowing I was locked in. But it was almost like that, like they say, you don't mention it. Like when a guy's pitching, like
literally, as you said, you knew that feeling. But I mean, it's like if you know it, you don't mention it. Otherwise, you're going to break it.
I had this feeling of like, it's like, okay, everything's working. And what happens is you start to build on that confidence, because you're like, I'm not missing shots. The ball is coming to me today. And so then you just start to do things that you normally wouldn't do, because you have that confidence built in. And it was incredible. Like I said, this feeling has maybe only hit me a couple of times. I would love to hear stories. I feel like this is like a podcast thing. I would love to hear stories of people when they were like in the zone. Like, what were the conditions? What did they do? You know, how did they get there? And then what was like the story and the outcome? Because I think it's really interesting. Have you ever had a feeling like that? Like, whether it be work or school or whatever, like you were just like locked into something and like you could build on it. Do you have one of those?
Well, I mean, talking about work, every day I'm in the zone because I'm the best in the business. No, but in all seriousness, it's like the one season that my basketball team ended up winning it all. Like in the championship game, I talked about how it's like defense was my thing. I could not hit a shot unless like I was literally right at the basket. But it's like I would be up in your business on the defensive end. And in the championship, we were the Tigers. We got beat by this team earlier in the year. They ended up going through the regular season undefeated, like schooling people, embarrassing them, running them out of the gym. And I made several stops in that championship game on their like star dude, like several steals. If he was outside the arc, I was right on him. If he wanted to try and come into the paint, guess what? I was there to be plowed over to take the foul. I was locked in. That was just it. But that was literally the peak and the downfall of my athletic career, because as you can see, I don't do much athletic anymore.
Lewis is talking about like he felt like he was in the zone sometimes playing tennis. He had a massive serve, and when it worked, it worked, and when it didn't, it didn't. And he said it was 100% about shutting off, caring about winning, losing, missing a shot, just thinking about that next shot. And I mean, that right there, that could be applied to golf. Like the few times that I actually enjoyed playing golf was when I didn't think about playing golf, and I literally just pulled back the club and swung. And it's like,
when you hear that sound, when you know you got it right, it was like, like that's a feeling that not even the best drug on the world can give you. Unfortunately, that's 1% of the time, and you're chasing that 1% all of the time.
And I think what separates those people who are like MVPs in the NBA, NFL, MLB, whatever, is somehow they know how to dial into that, and they can almost like turn it on, turn it off when they want to. Like I think of like Steph Curry, right? Like Steph Curry is ridiculous. That dude, when he wants to, he can make a shot from anywhere on the court. It doesn't matter if someone's in his face.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't care what the defense is giving him. He knows, if I want a shot, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make it. And he went on that crazy run this year where he was,
oh my God, yeah, like
50 a game,
stone cold. When Steph's on, he could have hit it from anywhere in the building.
Yeah, it was. So I would
hot take. Steph Curry might be the best shooter in all NBA history. Is that considered a hot take or just a fact?
I think that could just be a fact.
Yeah,
I would like to know. I mean, obviously the NBA has gone on longer than what our awareness of it has been. So
and this one guy, Michael Jordan, was pretty good.
He was good, but I don't think people would consider Michael Jordan a pure shooter. That guy was just he could nail the shot when he needed to hit one. He was going to hit one, but like I don't think.
But I mean, like Steph Curry is just like unconscious, like throw it up, go in.
Yeah, it's wild. I watched a couple of his games this year where he was doing that, and I was just like,
yeah, when he was on that stretch, believe me, Daddy hammered some Steph Curry prop bets, and might have made a little bit of money for a Disney trip earlier this year.
So,
by the way, FanDuel Sportsbook promo code WOKI if you're here in Tennessee.
There you go. You got to use it. Yeah. Lewis says we need to add a pre-show alert. So what we will probably do for this in the future is
I saw that, Lewis. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Is maybe schedule it so that it shows up on YouTube and Facebook as an upcoming show. The problem is when Landon and I start recording the podcast, we never quite know how long it's going to be.
Nope.
And I hate to say to people, "Oh, we're going to be on at 2," and then we're like halfway through the show and it's 2:30, and I'm like.
And at that point, we're like, are we going to short the podcast itself, or are we going to short the people that want to get in on the pre-show? So,
yeah. So
this is a downside to our beautiful, gross science, Lewis.
But the good news is you can go back and watch these anytime on YouTube, on Facebook. They're going to stay there. So,
and if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get to see the entire daggone video.
Yes, this week we are going to release the entire podcast raw and unedited in video format on the Patreon.
You get to hear all the pets.
Oh my God. There were a couple interruptions by pets today. That definitely happened. I wrote down
except Zoe, who is a good girl. Zoe, you're a good girl.
I only heard Zoe's squeaky toy once, I think.
And that's which okay. I mean, like that's a good week for Zoe.
Yeah. And that really doesn't bother me. Like I say, we're podcasting at home. You're going to have noises from the house. But when my dog starts barking, we literally have to shut the show down because there's no talking, whatever.
UA is protecting this house.
She does protect the house. Yes, you do get to see the video on the, is that what we're talking about? On the Patreon?
But not the pets.
Not the pets. Not the pets. The pets were locked out, and that was part of the problem. But we had some fun this week. We talked about some really fun stuff, and I am anxious for you all to hear it. Another good one. I think we've had a string of really good ones. By the way, I don't mind sharing these numbers. I feel like some people don't feel comfortable sharing like download numbers and stuff, but I really don't mind it because
while you look it up, I want to share this number, 11.
I like that number.
This number I want to share. Doesn't have anything to do. Just wanted to share 11. 11
is my favorite character on Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things. That's still a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming.
Does anybody care anymore?
Yes, people care.
Okay, sure.
I care about Stranger Things.
All right.
No,
chat. Do you still care about Stranger Things?
I'm going to wait for them to respond.
Okay, yeah, because I'll be honest, it's like it was fun, but it's like it's been so dang long, and like Netflix shows feel like just eating a bag of potato chips. It's like you binge the entire bag at once and there's nothing of substance. And then once it's gone, it's gone.
Ooh.
Early Stranger Things, I will say that's not the case. But now?
So season 3 was not your bag of chips.
I see what I did there. Season 3 was fun, but at the same time, A, it's been so long, and B, it's like, again, I binged it over 1 or 2 days. It's like just kind of out of sight, out of mind.
No, Lewis, it's hundreds of thousands.
Exactly. That number isn't calculable, Lewis.
Calculable, to quote Michael Scott.
Yes.
Michael Gary Scott.
By the way, it's like, speaking of The Office, like The Office has been in the background the entire time. Like they're going through the finale. Like watching it on mute is weird. Just like seeing everybody randomly look into the camera with like teary eyes and crying. It's like, this was a funny show at one point, right?
Oh my gosh, you're taking down Stranger Things and The Office all at once?
Boom! Line up your idols. I will murder them. That's what I'm saying.
You're more of a
We talked about Conan O'Brien this week.
We did.
As a matter of fact. Shout out, by the way, as a reminder, Conan O'Brien is ending his run on broadcast television this Thursday, June 24th, heading over to HBO Max, but still give Coco some love because Conan O'Brien kicks ass.
It's true. Okay, here's what I wanted to share. So probably, I'm going to say 2 months ago, we were lucky to hit like 500 per episode. Like I was real happy when we hit 500 downloads an episode. That was like a milestone. And all of our top 10 episodes were the ones that like went over 500. Episode 157 and 158 are both sitting at 786. We could very legitimately have one go over 800 in the next week or so, which is insane to me. I mean, essentially we've doubled our audience just in the last couple of months.
That's insane.
Yeah. So whatever is driving that, I'm extremely grateful for that.
Is it my threat of hardcore nudity? Because I brought that up a lot over the last couple months.
People are just waiting for that shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's Chekhov's phaser or whatever they say.
Well, let's check off something, but I don't want to get us demonetized on Facebook.
So, okay, this is an interesting thing that Lewis is saying right now. I only like binging shows that have ended. Watching all the episodes at once and none left makes me sad.
But doesn't that kind of apply to stuff like Stranger Things? They just drop the entire season all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're just waiting to hear that Stranger Things is done and then you'll go back and watch it. Which is kind of like, I appreciate the model that Disney Plus has with stuff like Loki, which, by the way, I still haven't seen episode 2. I'm sure it's great. Mandalorian and just one episode a week, like lets you watch it, digest it, talk to your friends at work about it, and get hyped for the next episode.
Mm-hmm. I really do like the once a week drop for a couple of reasons. I think when you do binge shows, even if you love them and you think that they're amazing, I think that you don't absorb it the way that you do on a weekly drop, and you have more time to like sit with it and think about what you saw. And so I like to, I do like the weekly drop as opposed to dropping it all at once. Sometimes it's frustrating because you want more, but that's a good thing.
Oh, yes. I mean, especially it's like, oh my God. Like, I actually think it's like WandaVision worked so well with a weekly drop because at the end of every episode, me, you, and every ding dong on the internet got on to speculate what was coming next. Is Mistopheles? Am I Mistopheles? Are you Mistopheles? Mephisto, not Mistopheles. That's a character from Cats. I'm sorry. But I'm curious if WandaVision would have hit the same notes it did if it did have kind of like a Stranger Things drop where it's like, hey, guess what? The entire episode or the entire series is out. You can watch it in like 10 hours.
The bad thing about it too is spoiler culture, because if they do drop an entire series and you don't have to, like sit down and watch it in a weekend, people are talking about the whole
you have to tiptoe around it.
Yeah. And that takes some time. So this is a little better to not get things spoiled. I will say, just so everybody knows, I finally did get to watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I finally watched the last episode. So I'm done with that.
What'd you think?
It was very good.
So good. Which, by the way, it's not Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you notice that at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice change. I like the little post credit too. I thought that was exciting. And now I'm on to Loki. I only watched the first 20 minutes of episode 1 because then we decided to hop on and do this thing today. So
so you're blaming us for your inability to
blame.
Oh my God.
There's no blame. I just had planned. I was going to watch those two things.
Chat, please shame him.
I had time. However, what I decided was I think Loki's going to be my favorite of these Marvel shows so far. I am so in. So in.
Like I haven't watched episode 2, but I do know it takes place in a place that I'm very familiar with, the Atlanta Marquee.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Dragon Con, which is coming back this year. But I do think Loki is going to be one of those shows that like they're swinging for the fences. And if Marvel's track record has any indication of how it's going to be, they're going to hit home runs more often than they're not. Like, so looking forward to it.
They packed so much just into this first 20 minutes that I've seen. Like I was smiling the whole time. I loved it. Lewis is booing you. I think that's
well, boo you, Lewis.
Boo to you.
You want to do something about it?
And
Come on.
And you.
No, boo you. Like I will fist fight you, Lewis. Come on.
Maybe it was my saying that I think Loki's going to be my favorite so far. I don't know, but I am excited for it. And that I say, we wrap up this little a post show so I can go watch more Loki.
All right. Yeah. Before me and Lewis start fighting.
Yeah. I don't want any fights to break out here. Steffers is back and full. Welcome back. And I'm glad you're full.
Hi, full. I'm dad. Oh, he's shaming you for not watching episode. You know what, Lewis? That's absolutely fine. I withdraw my threat of fighting you. There's a lot on Disney Plus I need to watch. I need to watch episode 2 of Loki. I also need to watch Luca. Has anybody watched Luca in the chat real quick before we leave?
That's a good question. I would like to. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. I haven't watched it yet. Anybody? We're waiting on you to answer. And while you do that, I just want to show you all something that I made and I haven't broken out yet on this show. And that is this, of course, overlay. Hashtag save the Muppets.
Okay, then subtle.
In case you don't know what our message is around here, hashtag save the Muppets. That's our message.
Oh, the boo is to Justin. So not only do I withdraw my threat to fight Lewis, suck it, Jay.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't Jay a doofus, right, Lewis?
I had a question about Luca. So when we were in the Magic Kingdom yesterday, I noticed they've got lots of Luca merch in the Emporium. And
okay. All right. Nice.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But the thing I wanted to say is this, I mean, maybe no one's seen it yet. Okay. Lewis is saying tomorrow. Lewis has heard it, or Steffers has heard it's good. She's going to watch it tonight. So nobody here can spoil it. But in just the little that I know about Luca, it almost seems like a gender bender Ariel story. Because like, especially I heard like an audio only version of the preview and Luca like wants to go walk around on dry land.
Yeah. Oh my God. I would not have put that together unless you just said it. So I don't know whether to hate you or whether to thank you for pointing that out. Wow. Okay.
Well, you decide, viewer. It's up to you. If you have seen Luca, don't tell me about it, but you could tell us your rating. I would appreciate that.
By the way, again, real quick before we get out, I've seen some people talk about how we've already seen some introductions of Loki into the parks, mainly on the left coast.
People are upset about it.
Yeah, and nothing for Raya and the last, not Airbender, right? Dragon, yeah.
Raya,
does anybody have opinions on that?
It's weird. It's a little weird. The only thing I could figure is they got to... I don't know.
Raya and the Last Airbender. Good Lord, Landon.
Get with the program, man.
Yeah. I'm again. That's another movie I haven't seen.
Well, it is good. It's very good.
I have no doubt. Like I need. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I need to watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and now it's available to watch for free. So
yep. Mm-hmm.
So time to jump on it, but I do recommend it, and I would love to see Raya in the parks. I enjoyed her ice cream cone.
Yeah, you did. And the Facebook chat had to see, I don't know if they enjoyed it or not, but shots of your groin.
Man, see, this is the struggles of not having like a phone tripod or something. I just have to put the phone where it goes, and if the angles are bad, I can't help it.
No, I definitely feel like that is something you can help.
Yesterday, when I was reviewing the buffalo chicken spring rolls, I did it on top of a garbage can, but the GoPro does have a tripod, so I was able to line that one up a little better. However, I was too close to it, and I had to like crouch down real far.
Oh my God.
No crotch in this video though.
Well, that's a good change.
Yeah. Well, for some, I think Kevin is like rooting for it. I don't know. He keeps encouraging it.
So good night, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. Like just shut it down. I don't think we're topping J Crotch Top.
All right. Well, have a good day, everybody. Happy Saturday. You still got a whole day and a half of the weekend, so I hope you enjoy it. And brand new show coming Monday. Make sure you're updating those podcast feeds, and we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.